All right, traders, it's Sunday, and I had a pretty terrible weekend as far as trading goes. Some of y'all saw this coming. Um, Regime changed. I was supposed to stop shorting when ETH and the various uh, crypto total market caps were over the 200 moving average, and they were. So I was not supposed to be shorting anymore over the weekend. On 10 different coins, I lost shorts. So I had fat losses. A lot of them I was able to advance stop or get out early, and most of them were actually avoidable because I could see in my advanced data that CBD spot was climbing, and with Bitcoin being at an all-time high. But I think I was just sort of accustomed to trading in a certain way. Like we've been in this regime where shorts have worked for since March. It's been 6+ months of it. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 8 months of it. And yeah, I should have been better prepared for the regime change. And also, on a whim, I closed my Bitcoin long. I held it overnight and nothing happened. And then the next night, it's been a big day. And yeah, it's frustrating, but it is what it is. I saw what happened this morning and I processed it and I'm back to the market and want to take a look and see what's happening. So let's get into it. Um, I'm in a Bitcoin long, but that's it. And in theory, I'm not gonna trade any shorts, but yeah, this is a really tough position because it might favor me to do nothing potentially. I'm considering doing nothing, getting out. Like, I mean, this is a place for ETH to fail. Maybe being flat. And here's why. Funding is crazy. Look how crazy high it is. 20%, 50%, 30% across the board, across the board. I can't be long here. Look at how high funding went. I cannot be long here. It doesn't mean I have to be short. I'm gonna close my Bitcoin long. I just can't do it. Sorry. Cannot do it. I'm gonna leave it alone for now. I think I'm gonna close it. Right. This seems like a good place. It's just, I know it's making new high, new high, new high. It's just too crazy. And I'm seeing people in my feed celebrating. I just, yeah, can't do it. Futures. 701, no. 669. Why? Because there's a fat funding fee. Oh no, I didn't pay a funding fee for it. So you see this battery of losses that I took. Small consolation. Yeah, I can't you can't be I cannot be long here. I think the opportunity is on the short side, but it needs to look right. Um, yeah, look at the funding is it's outrageously high. The average 8 hour. It's People are getting dangerously greedy. So yeah, looking for a move back. Um, Considering we have relatively equal highs here, I'm not about to short Bitcoin, but I'm gonna be interested in being a buyer. I like that one, maybe something like that. And maybe we just keep ripping higher, but I'm not willing to be long when everybody's celebrating longs. And it's just the way I am. I cannot, when everybody's euphoric, I cannot do it. It's a weekend pump that could retrace, and it spent so much time here. Although we do have an opening of other markets, right? So how are these opening? Gold is dumping. Silver. Um, Stock market's not really moved. Okay. Right. It's a tough market for me because everything over the moving average makes it harder to short. And also, again, seeing the CVD scenario was kind of a problem. Okay, so here we're starting to see, interesting. Um, I mean, the spot coming in is real. And price can go higher on the funding rate, but I mean, look how high the funding rate is. So if we look at how high, let's kind of zoom in more on the day. So uh, if we look on the day from where the funding rate is ticked up to, after funding rate was this high, the price only went up one, two, for like a couple weeks, and it had already topped by then. So yeah, I mean that's where I'm like, this is super fucking dangerous, you know? I liked being long down here a whole lot more. And I know it can just run to like I'm not really interested in shorting Bitcoin, but I more prefer buying, selling euphoria and buying fear. So I'm interested in looking. Okay. Okay. Sunset's in a little over an hour. I'm trying to make it to sunset, so yeah. I was just over indexed to the short side. If I had kept my Bitcoin long, it would have been fine. I'd actually be up today because it would have made up for all the losses. Okay. Yeah, the funding is crazy. And it's at a place where it could sell off from. It is giving a bullish divergence in funding. Sorry, in perp. I don't know what to weigh more, right? Like the spot scenario is super bullish, but the funding scenario is very bearish, right? I want to go with the funding. I might need to reduce my size. Yeah. BNB's to me looks interesting for a short, honestly. It doesn't look super bullish, but from where it is on the chart, I don't know. I guess could it just run straight to 100? Possibly. The funding is already like so high though, right? Let's look at the composite funding rate. Interesting how this looks. It's not super accurate. How long can funding be super high? I don't know. I want to be cautious. So I would say, okay, let's leave it alone for now. I like the idea of having a limit here. So let's look at the liquidation heat map. So we have one at 75, we have one at 74, we have one all the way at 73. So I'm interested in limiting to prepare for this. Yeah, I like this right at 74.3. Seems kind of unlikely that price comes all the way down there, but this is more interesting, right? Where we have this 4-hour gap. Probably never comes back here and just launches, but and then I would look at put my stop right down here roughly. It seems kind of unlikely that price will come all the way down here, but who knows? I mean, one thing I do think is pretty interesting is this happening where people are like carried up their limit orders. So there's my idea for Bitcoin on a pullback, but I mean, maybe it could just run to 100. It's possible. Maybe I should stay with it. But meanwhile, yeah, Doge is like cleared to 30 cents. I don't, I, I just the way the market moves, it feels like we're near a top. Maybe not in where the price is, but in terms of days, right? It could be another week and price just keeps ripping higher, but like when there are these straight vertical parabolic moves, it just doesn't tend to last. It can't go forever. I mean, it can. I mean, it can go. It's interesting. We're also coming into areas that could act as resistance. XRP. ETH in particular, it's like this isn't a place I would want to be a buyer on ETH, right? We just hit this yellow line after a straight vertical move with funding being incredibly high. Okay, I cut some of these. Zeta, big time. 1 inch, I cut all of these. having some sort of an alt season. Sui going crazy. Uni Ray. Looks crazy. It's like, I mean, these things just don't last that much longer once this happens. But again, it could go for another week. She. Let me look at a couple of these. Sheeb and ADA are a few that I'm interested in. Oh, not 1,000 sheep. Funny. Got my dog with me. My best friend. My best friend. My best friend. Honestly, Sheeb looks vulnerable, honestly. Actually, because it's not all spot in this. Insane leverage. Cardano. Um, Cardano also looks shortable. There was a large pickup in spot buying. But Cardano's, Sheeb and Cardano, both look shortable. Yeah. I'm a seller here, man. I'm sorry, but the Euphoria is too great. So Doge looks a little bit too strong, maybe, but maybe Doge is doable. No, I don't like Doge nearly as much as Sheep. Doge is much stronger. There's been a lot of spot buying here. So Doge is going to be a no, but ADA and Sheep both look doable. Um, yeah, where the market is, the Euphoria. I know we're over 200 moving average, but it just need to be pickier. Jup. Look at random Jup. Okay. See a little rounding happening here, right? It's possible it just rips another, but the funding is 40% on insane funding. I'm gonna go in there on Sheev and ADA, I think. And have the Bitcoin along from lower. Right, I want to do the most dramatic ones, the ones that are like have the most insane move, but they need to look okay under the hood too, right? What about STX? What's going on with this one? I want to see it already in decline, like, but let's just see. Funding on these is insane. There's no way I think, oh, I need to be long right now. Look at that. It's up that much in 3 hours right now. Well, it's not really tradable because of the time of the day, but yeah, it's got me thinking that, yeah, the moving average, TRB. All right, I kind of already went through them. Shiba and ADA are my two candidates. I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna long Bitcoin from lower. That's gonna be that. ADA. 0. That's cheap. ADA. 0.6553. Okay, that's too much. On a limit, fuck no. 0.6553. So I'm in ADA. It looks so much like a blow off top to me. We could look at zero, this whole move being reversed, possibly. At least down to here. 0.425. It's like this move for ADA. Was a lot of leverage coming in. Then cheap. Is it possible? What if it does something like this, you know? I might be too early still. that the euphoria could continue. It's possible. Curious what happened on the sharp move down here. That was spot selling is what it was. Yeah. Okay, I'm okay with trying this. Zero point. One, two, three, four. Wait, what? Stop loss 0.123429,447. Okay, that's acceptable. My target for sheep will be here. Seems good. I mean, this is where spot pressure came in, but yeah, under this one, here seems fine. 0.123429,447. 0. Oh, isn't it? This is 0.1234199963. I still might be too early, but I'm gonna leave it. I wonder if Bitcoin will just go to. I mean, Euphoria can really last a lot longer. It's possible. I don't like it, and I want to be careful when other people are being greedy. I just need to make sure that I have reserve so I can survive it. 198,000. Wait, what just happened here? Go down with the ship, I guess. I have so many people in my feed talking about Sheeb and Doge who aren't selling, and it just makes me think now's a good time to go the other way. It's tough. I mean, it's really tough with Bitcoin. Again, the funding rates, they're outrageously high. If I'm long right now, it's really high funding. It's the hottest it's been in a long time. People are getting reckless. I'm gonna plan on longs getting leverage longs getting punished. So again, there's a couple ideas I have. So let's prepare in advance for Bitcoin. So I have my shorts. I'm gonna leave them. Think about Euphoria, yeah, is it yeah, I like to counter trade Euphoria. Okay, so there's three levels. The first one is just underneath this move, which is right here. So we have level number one, and we have level number two and level number three. So based on what I'm thinking, I would like to have my TP, my entrance like right here, and my stop right down here inside the old high. Something like that. Something that's really gonna freak people out. Okay, let's do that. 75, 164. Hold up. I don't know how I like that that much. Because if we look over here on the 1 month, we see the hottest point is at 74, 232. That's what would really fuck people, which would be right under this level. Right. There's a tiny little it's on the 5 minute. Okay. So if I want to go by the heat map, I kind of like doing it down here though, maybe. Yeah, I kind of like doing it something like that. Okay, so we're gonna limit Bitcoin at 75 164 with a stop loss at 72 746 with no TP. And I'm going to risk, I'm going to have 0.75 Bitcoin. Okay. Now, say that I wanted to long one of these other ones, which I don't, but if I did, I'm okay with just Bitcoin maybe? I mean, I would be looking, I'm just going to mark it on my chart in advance. If we came all the way back down here, Solana, yo, Solana. Let's look at Solana. Is Solana shortable? I think so. It doesn't necessarily look as good as the other ones, but I bet if we zoom in, we're gonna see that that little pullback was caused by spot selling, which was stopping out longs, yeah. So Solana would be an idea, but I would prefer, yeah. We see Solana and we see ETH at super key levels, and then spot started to sell and just like rejecting. We actually created a 1 hour fair value gap here on ETH for the first time since when? This is the first one since price was significantly lower, 13% lower. So I like definitely like picking this as a place for a pullback. Yeah, if I go down with the ship, I go down with the ship, but I'm not about to start launching this bullshit here up here. So let's try to pick the best ones. I'm in SHIB and ADA. I don't know if I want another one. CVX, the funding, I couldn't do it. Doge. I really want to do Doge because I know there's a lot of euphoria behind it, but it's like a popular one for people to buy spot. And we're seeing that. We have had an increase in open interest by 1 billion, right? So I think it's maybe okay, but yeah, it just doesn't look as good as some of the other ones. Maybe leave that one alone. But I want ones that are like very stretched. They had a big move. I remember Jup I couldn't trade for some reason. Sui, yeah, but it needs to just for I'm just curious what's going on with Sui. Yeah, STX looked doable actually. Also, is it? Wow, it's already moved pretty nicely from when I was just looking at it. Right, it looked like this whole thing was kind of air, something like that. Sui. I'm not interested in shorting this one. I'm just curious what the fuck is going on. Yeah, spot buy. Makes sense. Okay, let's go back to STX. I thought this one looked pretty doable too. Funding's out of control. Spot wasn't really participating so much. Just like insane leverage move. That could take us back down here. And right, it's bleeding off a little bit. feel like the volatility is quite scary on this one. Like it'd be really easy to get stopped out on this. Might be okay. Yeah, spot selling that one too. Okay. Two point. Okay. So I'm gonna do a little bit smaller maybe. 2.1979. And my idea for TP was yeah, under that actually. Um, should be 1.7155. 1.7155. 2 point, what is that? 2.2, huh? 2.2. I'm gonna add a little bit more to it. That was just my feeler position. Okay, with that one, added right here. STX. Right, I close this one. Maybe stop there. Right, I already went through them. I really want to be a seller on Doge just because of the insanity, but I think people are gonna rush to sell it maybe. I think I'm gonna put the Doge back on, but small. Like people broadcasting to their timeline is gonna like incite people who have been bag holding to sell, not to buy up here. I specifically want to do it because it's on the timeline. 0.32. Okay. We're risking a little bit more at 10,000. I have enough short risk on now. 0.32 is my stop. And then for Doge, I'm interested in um, at least down here. At least all the way back down. That seems kind of unlikely, but I can advance my stop. Right, all the way back down to here seems, it's possible. 0.19. Okay, Doge. Yeah, it's possible price goes much higher. It is, but I don't know. I'm trying. In worst case, uh, I'll get to try again. I'm not risking my whole bag, and I have another job and things that I'm doing. Yeah, just like Euphoria's. Actually, the highest volume is on today in the last couple hours, and the price hasn't really advanced, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, that's what I like to see from ETH. It's like, yeah, make a bearish fair value gap. Start rejecting in it. Spot sells. Bitcoin relatively strong. Yikes. Wow. So bad. Immediately. What's my risk on this one? This one I took the smallest risk, so that's good. Okay. I guess I can think about also other longs lower. I mean, like I can mark out interesting areas. There's so much air though that if we have a serious decline, like where would it take us? Solana could fail here. If Solana fails, it could go all the way back to the low of this. It's possible. I'm not, it's probably a good place to try, honestly. Same thing with ETH. Doge, STX, ADA, SHIB. All right, y'all. Good luck. See you on the other side of the trade. Peace.